Hello and welcome to another episode of the Wolves FC podcast. My name's Ben.
And I'm Scott.
And this is going to be a slightly longer episode this week as we've got quite a lot to talk about that's been happening over the Christmas break. We're going to be discussing the Sheffield Wednesday match, the Ipswich Town match, the Millwall match, Bristol City match, and looking ahead to the Brentford match and the cup tie against Swansea.
Bring it on.
So on the 15th of December, Wolves travelled up to Hillsborough to take on Sheffield Wednesday. Scott, you were at the match. How was it?
A bit forgetful, to be honest, Ben. It wasn't the most exciting game in the world. You know, it was a top quality goal from Neves, which I think you enjoyed quite a lot as well. That was a fantastic finish, you know, feathered into the bottom corner from the edge of the box. And really, apart from that, we didn't create a lot. You know, I think it's Lewis Dunk who got himself sent off. You know, with a few... I know it's Morgan Fox who got himself sent off with a few minutes to go for a very silly challenge on Costa. But, I mean, looking at the stats of the game, you know, there's only 2 shots on target in the entire match. So that's tells you all you need to know about the game, really. And we put ours away and, you know, Ruddy made an excellent save for ours. But at the end of the day, it was 3 points, and it...
Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting match, really, was it? No.
But we ground out the results.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's all that matters. You know, we're at the point now where we need to be getting points to keep our gap at the top of the table. We don't need to perform well because we don't need to be battering teams anymore. We've got ourselves top.
Yeah.
We've got to keep ourselves there. So there wasn't really a lot to say about that game, to be honest. I was there, as you said, and I don't really remember much from it. I just remember how terrible the stadium is. It's not a nice stadium. It's very mismatched. The colours are off. And, you know, it's in the middle of York, you know, middle of Yorkshire. It's not an easy place to get to. But, yeah, it was an okay game, and it was 3 points.
Cost quite a lot of money to get up there, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, my ticket was £33 as an adult, and then the coach was £22, I think. But the last train from Sheffield was 8:30, so, you know, it's either coach or drive, you know, to get there. And Leeds fans were saying they'd take more away, but I don't think they'd take more away on a Friday night before Christmas for a game that was on Sky anyway. So Leeds fans need to have a day off, and they need to carry on living in the past where they belong because they've got no future.
No, they squandered it all.
They have squandered it all. Silly spending, you know, thinking they're a big club because we're in the Champions League. You know, get over yourselves.
Nothing like Wolves are going to be in about a decade's time.
We're going to be the biggest team in England, you know, in 10 years' time.
At least the biggest club in the Midlands.
Definitely. I mean, we're already the biggest club in the Midlands anyway, you know. Who've got to compete
biggest club
with?
in the Black Country. Yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, we've got to compete with West Brom, Aston Villa, Birmingham, Walsall, have a day off. We're the biggest club at the moment. And,
I did hear that Walsall were in talks with a rich Russian oil baron.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just recently.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Billionaire. Yeah. No, I am only joking.
I'm about to say, who would pick Walsall as a place to spend their money?
I don't know.
What a silly place.
Somebody who really likes red.
Well, if they like red, fair enough. You know, it's a very red stadium.
Yeah.
I've been there twice. Okay, so that wraps up the very short section on the
Sheffield Wednesday.
And I think we talked more about other teams than we did Sheffield Wednesday in the end.
So the Ipswich game, 1-0 Wolves.
Yeah, so I went to that again. For the first time in about 7 months, I actually caught the bus to get to the game because I was staying at my aunt's house and I couldn't bother to drive because I had to drive past the stadium to walk back in again. And it was a good game. It was nice to beat Mick McCarthy, you know, as much as he did good things for us. You know, we've not beaten him ever. And it was a great finish from Ivan Cavallero for the goal, you know, in front of the North Bank. You know, he stepped inside, you know, right-footed, bottom bins. You know, it was a great finish.
Yeah, and historically we haven't always done that well against Ipswich, have we?
I think we've drawn our last 5 when I checked the stats before the game. I think we beat them in the season that we went down, but obviously that means nothing. You know, we went down. And looking at the stats, we had 17 shots in that game and 65% possession. So Ipswich really did try to sit behind the ball and catch us on the counter-attack, but you know, they didn't really have the players to be playing that sort of football. I mean, they had 2 shots on target in the entire game. What was the point? They might as well stayed at home.
Yeah.
You know, John Woody would have been tested more by his own back 5
than
he would have been by the Ipswich strikers.
Well, I think that was always going to be a difficult game, wasn't it?
It was,
Ipswich, we never really did that well against them. And, of course, Mick McCarthy being in charge as well, that's just an added sort of problem, isn't it, really? So
definitely. I remember the Ipswich game last season that we played at Molineux, second game of the season. We'd just beaten Reading under Walter Senga, and it was a bit of an anticlimax, really, 0-0 at home. And we're thinking, was that it? You know, after a great performance against Reading, like, was that it? You know, from us, like, was that all? But yeah, it was nice to beat Ipswich, and you know, Cardiff lost to Bolton, sorry, as Alan kept telling me, which really made my day, and it extended our gap at the top of the Championship, where of course we belong. You know, the best team in the league.
Nice one, Bolton.
Well done, Bolton.
Doing us a bit of a favour there.
Safe.
Quality, yeah.
Thanks, Alan, for being there and keeping me updated. So I was there the week before when they played Burton, and they didn't look very good. Burton looked much better than Bolton, so it's good for them to get that win. A massive win for us.
Yeah, I would like to see Bolton stay up. It'd be a real shame, I think, to see them go back down.
They should be in League One. You know, they're quite a big club.
They are, yeah,
with a decent stadium in the middle of nowhere.
A big enough stadium. You know?
Yeah, definitely. So, moving on.
The Millwall match, which
away.
Was that Boxing Day? Was it
Boxing
last
Day?
Tuesday.
Yeah. The amount of people I had warning me about Millwall away before I went down was insane. And my friend Rebecca, who I went down with, big up to Rebecca if you're listening, by the way.
Uh-huh.
You know, she got warned as well. But in all fairness, it was a good atmosphere. You know, we got off the coach about 2 hours early, and we went to the cafe across the road, and there was Wolves fans sitting with Millwall fans. You know, having their Saveloy and chips, whatever, a cup of tea, you know, a pint. Always Saveloy.
And chips.
Yeah. And they were talking about football, about their biggest rivalries, etc. And it was there were loads of police there. You know, there's loads of Aussies everywhere.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it was a decent game. The Millwall fans were chanting at one point that a road was closed for our protection, and then they got the announcement, so we chanted it back. And it was a good game. Millwall tried to play us. I didn't expect Millwall to come out and attack us the way they did. You know, they got the opening goal, which hopefully I'm showing you right now. It was a really good through ball from, I don't think it was Jed Wallace, but I know he was involved in the build-up play. And then Lee Gregory slotted it home. And then we equalised through Diogo Jota. Mm-hmm. Cavallero was on the ground for a good 30 seconds before we got the ball in the box. And he was on the floor inside the box. And then Jota just seemed out of nowhere to smash it in the top corner.
Yeah, it was a great
5 yards.
Strike, that was.
Yeah, from 5 yards to put it there was quite intelligent.
Yeah.
And then we scored in the second half first. Romain Saïss from the edge of the box. Absolutely fantastic finish. Right in front of us as well. And then Willy Bowley had to go off like Cavallero. And then Roderick Miranda came on and we looked a bit shaky in the defence. And then they scored from a corner and it ended 2-2. But with Cardiff losing again, we actually gained a point.
Yeah, well,
we actually extended our gap at the top of the league. So
all helps, doesn't it?
It all helps. Every little bit helps.
It did seem like a good match, to be fair.
It was good atmosphere as well. Both sets of fans were really going for it. And
you don't always mind sort of high scoring draws, do you?
Yeah, we did really enjoy the game. To be fair, and I probably will go again. I was thinking I'll do Millwall away once and not go again.
Yeah.
But the coach driver then decided to drive us through Chelsea, so it took about 2.5 hours to get there and 4.5 hours to get back.
Nightmare.
Which was very tiring, and we had 3 hours sleep the night before as well. So I was a bit grouchy on the coach, and I had no food, so I was hungry and tired. Not a nice combination.
No, I mean these days.
I think the police presence calmed them down a bit. They were chanting that no one likes us, and the police are for our own protection. But the Wolves fans gave it back. There was a ginger guy in a grey tracksuit in the corner of their stand. And he got ripped into for the entire 90 minutes. They were chanting in Matalan tracksuit at him at first.
Oh dear.
And then Chesney, what's the score? And there was a heavily made up woman at the back of the stand. They were chanting, slapper, what's the score? And he was a slapper at the back. Which is a bit mean, for an entire stand to turn on someone.
Yeah, who's the slapper?
Who's the slapper at the back? Yeah.
And they weren't even talking about the goalie. Oh dear.
Yeah, but it was a good atmosphere, and Millwall fans gave it some. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
It's a shame we didn't win really, but we didn't lose, which it looked like we could have done. We went 2-1. No, so we went 1-0 down.
Yeah.
It looked like we weren't going to get a goal.
It did look a little bit shaky for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, we kept making silly mistakes. Our back five was a bit. I think they were a bit scared of Millwall. Their physicality, and the referee was the biggest Millwall fan I've ever met. Either he was scared of them, or he was a Millwall fan. The decisions that were going their way. Any other game, they wouldn't be going their way. But I think the ultras may have threatened him before the game, and he tried to give as many decisions to Millwall as he could. But we took a point, so we can't be bitter about it, really.
No, we can't. And in all fairness, I mean, it's quite interesting. There's someone I follow on Instagram who's a big Millwall fan, and was actually at the game.
Yeah.
And there was so many of his mates sort of commenting, this is a massive game for us, against Wolves, top of the league.
Yeah.
So I think from their perspective, they were really up for it and really wanted to give us a good game.
I think that's the issue we're going to have, aren't we, now? Yeah. Towards the end of the season, teams are going to see us as a big scalp.
Yeah, well,
we are playing so well.
Like we keep saying. And I think that's why most of it's been a bit of a weird month, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like we've done well. I mean, we haven't lost, and we've been sort of grinding out the points. But like none of the wins or draws have been particularly pretty.
No, we've had to work very hard for all the points we've picked up this month, which is it's good to see the players, because everyone was saying we might flop during the winter. But I think we've picked up I think it's 4 wins and 2 draws this month.
Yeah, it's not bad, is
14
it? 14
points, for a bad patch and the winter when our players are shaky, then, I would have taken 14 points looking at the games we've had this month. Blues away, Sunderland at home, Millwall away, Bristol City away. I would have very happily taken 14 points from all that. And then finally, Ben, the Bristol City game.
Oh, yes, yesterday.
What a game.
So were they in their lovely, tasteful purple and green?
They weren't, unfortunately. No, they were the home team. I was hoping they'd come out in it because it is a pretty cool away kit.
Yeah.
It was one of the most interesting games I've been to.
They look like a bunch of fruit salads.
What a strange kit that is.
I know.
But yeah, so the game really was marred by the referee. He had a bit of a shocker yesterday.
Okay.
He was the one who was in charge when we lost to Sheffield United 2-0, and we had Connor Cody sent off in the opening 15 minutes. And then it was pretty even at first, and Danny Batt makes a ridiculous tackle, and he gives the referee no choice but to give him a red. He goes in, studs facing on the defender, he wins the ball, but he was nowhere. He shouldn't have been tackling like that in their half. There's no need for it, and it put us on the back foot then. We had to take Bonatini off, bring on Ryan Bennett, and we sat back for the whole first half, tried to keep them out, and we did. And then the second half, they scored first. It was a good bit of play. Unfortunately, 2 defenders got drawn to the ball, which left a gap in the middle for Bobby Reid, to run through, get the ball and hit it underneath Ruddy. And I think it took a bit of a deflection on the way through. And at that point, we're thinking, okay, we've lost it here. The gap's cut to 5 points. And then Cavallero came on, which we all expected, after Nuno had been sent to the stands earlier on in the game.
What was that all about? So
I think what I've heard, after Danny Batt's red card, we should have had a penalty a few minutes later and we didn't get it. We got a free kick instead.
Okay, right.
And the fourth official, being the little crybaby that he is, called the referee over, and next thing you know, the referee's pointing Nuno to the stand.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And I think from what I've heard, he encroached on the home side's technical area, so he stepped a foot in there to have a bit of a Barney with Lee Johnson. And then Cavallero came on, played a wicked through ball to Matt Doherty. The keeper came out. I don't know why, because this ball was about 25 yards out from the goal. Doherty takes it round in quite easily, but then he sticks out a foot. Doherty goes flying. Red card for the keeper. And you're thinking, okay, both sides are down to 10, but we're still a goal down. And then Barry Douglas steps up, as you'll see from a vintage video that I recorded myself.
Oh, very nice.
The free kick going over the wall. It takes a bit of a deflection off Marlon Pack's head, but it flies in the net. And at that point, Wolves were on top. In the last 20 minutes of the game, we dominated. We had the better chances. And then one player I don't think gets enough credit was Romain Saiss for the goal. When you see the replay, Romain Saiss was chasing down a ball in the 93rd minute that was going out. He keeps it in, gets to the corner flag. He's having his shirt pulled by Marlon Pack. If Marlon Pack pulls like that in a nightclub, he's going to be the luckiest man alive.
Hey.
He had 100% of Romain Saiss' shirt there. And then, wicked free kicking from Barry Douglas, who scored earlier.
Yeah.
And Bennett rose at the far post, and 3,500 Wolves fans absolutely lost it behind the goal. They went insane. I've never known any celebrations like it before.
Yeah, I did see a video. Somebody on YouTube, I think his name's Scotty WWFC or something like that.
I've seen him, yeah.
He posted a brilliant video of the celebrations, and it did look absolutely mental.
Went mental. To be involved in that, it was sort of an I was there moment. It was absolutely fantastic. To be behind the goal when that went in. Well, everyone was hugging each other, complete strangers were all turning round.
Yeah.
In any other situation, probably violating each other, but, they were over the moon.
Just a great moment to be in.
Just a great moment. To go 10 points clear of second and 11 clear of third at this stage of the season, it's a huge, huge gap. And I think that win will see us promoted now. I think if we'd lost that game,
a
bit shaky, but that sort of a gap, all we need to do now.
10 points clear now.
10 points clear. I've calculated that we need to win about 12 games remaining now to 36 points will put us on 93, I think.
Do you reckon we'll finish with 100 points? Or have we already talked about this?
I'm not sure, but Reading's record's 106 and we're on 58, so we need to pick up another 48 points to do that.
That might be a bit.
So 48 points realistically is 18 wins.
How many matches left?
16 wins, sorry. We've got 21 games left. So it's a bit of a tall order to do it.
Yeah.
We still need to literally win every single game. But if we can hit 100 points, that'd be absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
For us, not many teams go up with 100 points, but 90 will be enough to see us up.
Yeah.
And I think with the way the playoffs are settling themselves out, I think even 85 might be enough for a champion spot this year. So my prediction is we are going up now after that win. We are going up. We just need to get over the line. That win, I think, has
I agree.
Has given us that much of a gap that I can't see us losing 3, 4, 5, 6 games that it will take for us to drop out, because we can't assume that second or third are going to win every game, because we've seen they're not. Cardiff keep losing games.
They're quite inconsistent, aren't they?
They are. There's different teams in second place. You know, Sheffield United, Cardiff, and now Bristol City. Or Cardiff are second at the moment, no, to be fair. But they keep losing silly games. And with the EFL Cup run that Bristol City have got, they've got Man City at home and away, and they've got Watford in the Cup. That's a massive distraction for them. So they're not going to be as focused on the league as we will be. So I do think we're going up now. You know, it's a bit premature to say, 21 games to go, but I really think we're going up to the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be sort of pessimistic about it, but I mean, we do need to be careful still. I mean, nothing's set in stone. Nothing's set in stone. I mean, I have sort of seen seasons in the past. I mean, I think would it have been the 2002, 2003 season?
I won't remember that one.
Or was it? No, that was the year we went up, wasn't it? 2002.
Yeah, 2002.
The season before that, 2001, 2002. We spent most of that season in the top two.
All right.
It was us and Man City went up champions.
Okay.
Man City were absolutely running away with the league.
Yeah, I've seen the league from that year.
There was no way they weren't going up.
Yeah.
Much like Wolves now at the minute, and Wolves played pretty well the whole season, and then around. I seem to remember around about sort of January, February, things started to slip, and we just sort of couldn't seem to keep the consistency up. And then it basically came down to the last game of the season, and so I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but what happened was, we dropped points. Team below us was the Albion. They picked up points. No. We ended up in the playoffs, so sort of demoralised from not getting the automatic slot that, we ended up losing in the playoffs to Norwich. And the whole thing was really pathetic, and so we do need to still got to sort of stay focused and still keep going. Nothing's set in stone.
I think the way Nuno's got his team playing though, they're so focused on, and I think someone asked Nuno about 10 points clear of second, 11 clear of third. Like what are your thoughts on the league table? Then he just says Brentford. His mind is completely focused on the next game and picking up 3 points, and I think that's the mindset of the team, but. You look at the way we're getting results. We've really had to scrap this month, and we've picked up 14 points, and we don't need to win every game now. We can afford to lose 2 or 3, and still go up.
But we don't want to.
We don't want to, but we've got that breathing space now where we can lose games, and it's nice.
I'd be really worried about sort of taking our foot off the gas though, even at this stage. I think maybe if it gets to about February, to maybe the end of February, if we have a decent January, decent month February. Then I think, we'll maybe start to breathe a little bit easier.
I think as soon as we hit the 80-point mark, I think that's when it's only a matter of time. But I can't see who's going to overtake us. No one's being consistent enough for me to overtake us.
That is true. But then you never know who's going to put a run together. Or, anything could happen. I think we will go up. Having said all that, I can't, I think Nuno really has got his head screwed on in terms of tactics.
And, his celebration when, Bennett scored. Have you seen the video of him celebrating?
Oh, yeah, he's
absolutely insane. He loved that moment. And that's what the Wolves fans love him for. He's got that passion. That fire in his belly.
I think he is really keen to sort of prove himself, in the Premiership, isn't he, as a manager? Definitely. That'd be, he in terms of his own career, that's what he's gonna have his eye on.
Yeah, and the amount of money Wolves have got as well to spend. If we go up, we know we're not as limited by the financial fair play as we are now.
Yeah.
So the money we could have to spend next season, if and when we do go up, is going to be insane. And looking at the stats, I think only one team has had more points than us than this stage. Obviously this stage of the season, and that was Reading when they smashed 106 points. They had 63 points by this stage, and I think they were unbeaten at this point. So, we're not far off, that great Reading team, who absolutely destroyed the league.
Oh, yeah, they were brilliant, weren't
they? They were absolutely epic. They really were. So, I think we're going up. I think we'll hit 100 points. Whether we'll beat Reading's record, we've been a bit inconsistent. We're starting to drop a few points with draws. But a draw's not that damaging to us. A defeat is, but a draw, is still a point. And still moves that bit closer to the Premier League. And we've only drawn 5 times now this season. 4 or 5 times.
It's not bad, really.
We've only lost 3 as well. The league table looks really, really, really healthy.
I mean, our goal difference is pretty decent as well,
I think it's plus 27, which is an extra point in itself,
Yeah.
So we really were 12 points clear when you take goals difference into consideration. which is rooty tooty fruity.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, Ben.
Okay, yeah. So
Brentford at home, so I'll be going to that again next Tuesday.
Is it next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, yeah, it's Tuesday coming up. It's on the 2nd, I think.
As in tomorrow? No, as in...
Yeah, so the day after tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm back at work Wednesday. Boo!
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But it's inset day, so the streets won't be in. Yeah, so Brentford are playing some very nice football at the moment. I must admit, I've watched them play a few games on Sky, and they look like the team they used to be when they first came up with us.
Yeah.
They look really, really good. And I think, if we keep 11 men on the pitch and get Danny Bart as far away from the team as we can, which I think he'll be banned anyway,
probably,
unless we rescind the red card. It's going to be a very tasty game if we can. Because Brentford aren't going to go there and sit back. I hope they're going to go there and try and play us, and that's what I want to see.
Have we already played them once this year?
Yeah, we drew 0-0 at Griffin Park.
Yeah, I think who's their manager? Brentford, is it?
It's what's his face? Is it the former Walsall one?
Yeah, we played them really early on this year, didn't we?
Yeah, third game of the season.
I remember their manager after the match saying that we would be champions, actually. He was saying that we had the best team in the league by far.
I think, it's Dean Smith, yeah.
And Brentford do like to play football as well.
They do,
which is good.
They've always played nice football, to be fair, and full credit to them.
Yeah, it could be a good match, that, I reckon.
They do it on a budget as well, they don't spend a lot of money. So that'll be a very, very good game. But looking at the table, if we have a look at the fixtures for that week, because we might as well do our score prediction while we're here.
Yeah.
So if we have a look at Monday, which is of course tomorrow, because we're recording on Sunday. Last recording of 2017. Oi oi.
Yeah. And sorry, we've been away for the last few weeks. Basically, we realised that there were too many fixtures over the festive period to
fit them all in.
To be doing, like would have been having to do a podcast every couple of days.
And I wasn't very well.
Yeah, and my wife wasn't very well, and there was bad weather and all sorts of stuff going on. So
we do apologise for that to all 4 of our listeners that you've not heard our silky baritones over your Christmas period.
Yeah.
So looking at the first game, Bolton v Hull City. Bolton in a good run of form. Hull are 4 points adrift of bottom, so Hull are 4 points clear of bottom. They're in serious trouble.
Yeah, they do seem to be just kind of in free fall, don't they, at the minute?
They do, yeah. So what's your prediction for that?
Okay, I predict a Bolton win. I think 2-0.
You think 2-0? Okay, I'm going to say 1-0 Bolton for that one.
Okay.
So you say 2-0, I'm going to say 1-0. And next is Derby Leeds.
Derby Leeds?
Sorry, Derby Sheffield United, sorry. We'll keep that one in.
Yeah.
Derby Sheffield United.
Well, Leeds are about the same size club, aren't they, as Sheffield United?
About the same size as Birmingham City.
Ooh, not even the biggest club in the Midlands.
That's going to cause some controversy, that is. Yeah, so
have you been trolling Leeds fans on Twitter again?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And a few Bristol City fans as well.
My mother-in-law used to work at Bristol City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice ground, to be fair. I was very impressed with it. It's just shame about the fans and the lack of atmosphere. But that they understand that we're going up, which is...
Well, what do you expect? If your team's got a purple away kit.
Exactly. We had a purple away kit a few years ago ourselves. So Derby v Sheffield United, Ben.
Okay, yeah. So how have those teams been
Derby
playing recently?
Derby are in decent run of form. I think if I check the Ligue Double, they are second. Yeah, they're second in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So Sheffield United have had a bit of a yo-yo time now. They keep losing silly games. They won again on the weekend, I think.
Not the most consistent form in the league, are
and they only drew 2-2 with Villa. They were 2-0 down, in all fairness, after 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But then, they struck twice through Clayton Donaldson, a former Blues player at Villa Park, defecating on the Villa.
That's it.
Brilliant. That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to say Derby 3, Sheffield United 1. I'm going to go for a very specific score there. Derby are scoring goals. And it all depends which Sheffield United turn up in that game, in all fairness.
I am going to disagree.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Sheffield United win.
How dare you?
Yeah, they've got it all to play for, haven't they?
They've got it all to play for.
And I think they'll be second half of the season. They might be able to really turn it on, I think.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 2-1 to Sheffield United.
Okay. 2-1 to Sheffield United. So next up is Leeds United against Nottingham Forest. Oh, yeah. Who the hell are they? Yeah. So Leeds United, for some reason this game's on TV. for whatever reason.
Nobody supports Leeds.
No one supports Forest either. So Leeds United, they are 5th in the league, but again, they're putting a few wins together now, in all fairness, as much as, Leeds fans are deluded that they take more away than any other team in the country. They're playing a Forest side who've just sacked their manager. They sacked him today, Mark Warburton. Forest are 14th in the league. They're not playing very well. They lost this weekend. I can't remember who it was to, but I know it's not a very good team. If I have a look at Saturday's games, they lost to Sunderland at home.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we should understand why Mark Warburton was sacked then. So for me, as much as this hurts, I'm going to say Leeds 2, Forest 0.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a difficult one to call that, really. But I think maybe 1-1.
I think 1-1 in that game. Okie dokie. So next, Norwich v Millwall. Millwall for me, they've won games. Obviously, they couldn't beat a big club like us, but with the exception of losing 3-0 to Derby last weekend before they played us, they've won again on the weekend. They're playing some really good football as well. And Norwich, they're falling towards relegation zone, which for a club 2 years ago in the Premier League,
it's not good, is it?
It's not good enough. So for me, I'm going to say a 1-0 win to Millwall. They haven't got a lot of goals in them, but they should have enough to beat Norwich.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Actually, I'm going to say 1-0 Millwall.
Okay.
I think they're going to be they're going to be sort of riding on a bit of a high at the minute.
They
as
are,
well.
Aren't they? Yeah. So, so we both said 1-0. So next is Preston, and they face Middlesbrough. Preston are a very difficult side to beat. Have a look at the league table. They are 8th in the league. They've only lost 5 times this season, though. For a team in 8th, they've won 10 and drawn 10. Only us and Bristol City have lost less than them.
Okay.
So I'm going to call that a draw because Middlesbrough have got Tony Pulis in charge now, so they're going to be playing 11 at the back.
Yeah.
I don't think Preston will be able to penetrate that. So I'm going to call that 1-1.
Yeah, really, I'm going to say 0-0.
Say 0-0. Okay, so both going for a draw.
I don't fancy either team scoring there, really.
It's not the most exciting game of football in the world,
no.
but they're 8th and 9th in the league respectively, so it might be tasty.
It's the unstoppable force of Preston meets the immovable objects of Middlesbrough.
With Tony Pulis in charge, it is the most unmovable object in the world. So, QPR Cardiff. QPR are a difficult side to beat. They're one of only 3 teams to have beaten us this season, Cardiff being one of the 2. For me, Cardiff keep dropping silly points and QPR seem to win big games. So, I'm going to call it a QPR win.
Okay.
1-0 to QPR.
Well, we'd like a QPR win.
We'd like a QPR win.
But on the other hand, Cardiff are going to be desperate to close that gap, aren't they?
They are, because they're now 4th. They're only a point adrift, but they are 4th in the league.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how that's going to go, really. I reckon a draw. I reckon 1-1.
1-1, okay. So next is Sheffield Wednesday. They face Burton Albion. Burton Albion are really revived in the last few games. They beat Bolton. I think they beat Reading as well. Nearly beat Leeds. They lost 2-1, unfortunately. But they've picked up a good run of form, and they're just about inside the relegation zone. And Sheffield Wednesday, I don't think they've got a new manager yet. They sacked Carvajal last week, I think, but now he's got the Swansea job magically. So I'm going to call that a draw in that game. I'm going to say a 0-0 draw because for me, neither side seem capable of scoring goals.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 0-0.
I'm going to say 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday.
So 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday. Okay, and next is Sunderland v Barnsley. Barnsley. I'm going to Barnsley in a few weeks,
Barnsley.
Thoughts Wolves play at Barnsley.
That'll be nice for you.
Oh yeah, to see all the Yorkshire lads.
Yeah. And Barnsley, they're the biggest club in Yorkshire, aren't they?
They are, yeah. They're bigger than Leeds United.
Is Leeds even in Yorkshire?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think it's part of.
I know. I'm just.
Are they a football club?
Is Leeds even a place?
I don't know. I think it exists.
I thought Wakefield was one of the biggest cities in.
Or Sheffield or Barnsley.
Barnsley.
Or Huddersfield. So Sunderland Barnsley. Sunderland won on weekend So they beat Nottingham Forest, which to be honest, it's like beating the Villa. There's no prizes for it. Anybody could do it. So for me, I'm going to call that a Barnsley win. I'm going to say 2-0 to Barnsley.
Okay. I might disagree with you and say 1-0 Sunderland.
1-0 Sunderland.
Yeah, I think they might be beginning to sort of turn it around a little bit, I think.
Yeah, Chris Coleman has had a invigorating effect on them, to be fair, so I can see where you're coming from.
They seem a little bit more together, don't they?
They do.
The last couple of weeks.
They're playing as a team now. I don't think Simon Grayson was the right appointment. He's not a powerful enough character.
No.
But Chris Coleman, I think, has got the respect of his players. And then the 5:30 kick-off, and this is a bit of a catch-22 for us.
Oh.
Villa v Bristol City. Either way, it's going to hurt.
Oh, that's tough.
I'd take a draw now from that game, and if of course when we beat Brentford on Tuesday, we'll go 12 points clear of Bristol City. For me, I can see Bristol City winning that game. Subjectively.
Yeah, I can. Actually.
They're playing very, very good football. They nearly outplayed us, to be fair, and that's outplaying Man City. Difficult to do. So I'm going to say I'm going to call it a 3-0 win to Bristol City, actually.
Okay, yeah.
They've got some very, very strong attacking threats. So 3-0 to Bristol City.
I'm going to sort of partly agree. I'm not going to go quite so high scoring.
Okay.
I reckon 2-0 Bristol City.
Reckon 2-0. Okay.
Yeah.
And there are 3 games on Tuesday, which I completely forgot about.
I would like to see Villa do us a favour. Beat them.
But either way, we're going to win, aren't we? If Bristol City win, Villa lose, and then if Villa win, Bristol City lose. So
thing is, I mean, as long as we keep winning,
it doesn't matter, does it? No, we're that far ahead.
Yeah.
So next game on Tuesday at 7:45, Fulham v Ipswich.
Oh, okay.
Thoughts on that game?
I reckon 1-0 Fulham.
Reckon 1-0 Fulham. Fulham are a very difficult team to gauge. They play.
But they are at home.
They are at home. They're a very strange team. 1 minute they turn up and next minute they don't. So you're saying 1-0 Fulham.
Yeah.
I'm going to call that a Fulham win as well. 1-0. I agree with you there. Wolves Brentford, the big one, the one that we all care about.
Have we already done this one?
No, not yet.
I think this is going to be another tough game. I think. I reckon 2-1 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves. I'm going to say 2-0 Wolves. I think.
Okay.
But we're both going for a win.
Yeah.
And finally, Reading v Birmingham, 2 teams who are out of form. Although Blues won somehow on the weekend, they somehow managed to score a goal or 2. So I'm going to call that a draw off the bat. I'm going to say 0-0.
I'm going to say 1-0 Reading.
1-0 Reading. Okay. So before we wrap up this section, we've got the results from the first week that we did.
Okay, yeah.
Back in the day.
Remember, stretch our minds back that far.
Because of everything that's happened, me being ill, and the game's been so thick and fast, we've not been able to play the prediction game after the Sheffield Wednesday match. So the results are on the screen right now. So just a reminder of the rules. If you get the score exactly right, you get 3 points.
Yeah.
If you get the result right, so let's say a team, you predicted 2-1 but they won 3-1, you get a point. And if it's completely opposite, so if it's a draw or a loss when you predicted a win, then you get 0 points. So, Ben?
Yes.
Me and you?
Yeah.
Joint bottom on 9 points, which is annoying. And Alan, for a Bolton fan, he's done all right.
Yeah.
He's on 11 points. So I think we need to sort this out. We can't be beaten on our own podcast by some foreigner.
I know, yeah.
So, somebody who's not even from the Midlands.
Yeah, we need to up our game.
We do need to up our game. So, I think looking at mine and yours results, I think we agreed on one result, I think, me and you. And I think that was I think it was the Ipswich win.
Yeah.
There's one that we all got a point on. We all predicted, I think, a certain result. None of us got all 3 right together, which was quite interesting. And yeah, Alan got jammy with an extra result. He got 3 points for. So at the moment, me and you are joint bottom. So as it stands, me and you are going to the Baggies Club shop, mate.
Oh no!
If it ends this way right now,
we're both going to the Baggies Club shop.
Both going in, which I've been warned is a bad idea by various family members.
Oh yeah, I've not told any of my family members.
No, I'm going to tell them for you. I'm going to write a very formal letter, inviting them to your funeral.
Yeah, it is a bad idea.
It is a bad idea. I think we'll have to check it out of that one.
Yeah. No, we've got to do it. We can't say we're going to do something and then not do it.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just need to make sure that it's Alan that has to do it.
If it's Alan who has to do it, he has to walk into a Blackburn Club shop and he wants a shirt on.
Yeah.
Do you know it'd be even better if we wore an Albion shirt to our own club shop?
Not even an Albion supporter.
Not even an Albion supporter. That's going to hurt even more because they're going to question what WTF are we doing in there.
We've come to see how the other half live.
How the better half live.
Yeah.
So finally,
come to see what it's like to be a good team, like, with a decent stadium.
Albion have not had that for a very long time.
Yeah.
So finally, the Swansea game.
Yeah.
In the FA Cup, Swansea have a new manager, Carlos Carvalhal, who of course was in charge of Sheffield Wednesday until last week. And he must have had a great week, being sacked by a Championship club, and then being a Premier League manager the week after. And they played.
It just stinks of desperation.
It doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Watford were winning 1-0 against Swansea at home, and then they turned it around in the last 7 minutes to win 2-1. So that means our favourite club, Ben.
Yeah.
Were bottom of the league until I checked my phone. They picked up a point against Arsenal though, West Brom. So fair play to them for that. I know Arsenal aren't very good. Yes, so Wenger out, yeah. We'll take a sign with the Swansea game.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to put that up on the screen at that point.
Wenger out.
Yeah.
So Swansea are bottom of the league at the moment on goals difference.
Yeah.
Because of the baggish jammy point against Arsenal. But I do think we'll beat Swansea. You know, if Nuno puts out anything that resembles a first team.
Yeah, I can see us beating Swansea easily.
I mean, 3 points.
They have been a bit rubbish, haven't they?
They have been rubbish. I totally agree.
All season.
And we will play the prediction game for the FA Cup, but we're not going to talk about the games because there's going to be about 30 of them.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, me and Ben will write them down at another point. We'll put them on the screen, and then we'll just have an FA Cup one as well.
FA Cup special.
FA Cup special. Yeah. So have a separate one for that, and then the winner will decide a prize later on.
Yeah.
For that one, I don't know what the prize is going to be yet, and I don't know what the prize is for the season one either.
A paper mache FA Cup.
Yeah, yes. That'll be pretty sweet. So yeah, I do think Wolves will win as long as we put out anything that resembles a first team. Swansea don't have goals in them, and we don't concede goals apart from the 3 we've conceded in our last 2 games.
It'll be an interesting match, really, because I mean, you know, we are at this point sort of looking ahead to next season, really, and it's looking very likely that we are going to be in the Premiership.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see how this Wolves side performs against some of the lesser good teams in the Premiership.
Yeah, to judge ourselves against them. And I can't see Swansea coming and parking the bus.
No.
So again, it'll be an open game of football. And we're in the Billy Wright, Ben, aren't we, me and you? Billy Wright lower,
yeah.
Which I've not sat in since 2009 when we drew with Norwich 2-2.
Oh.
And Carl Hakimi spilled into his own net from a corner or a free kick or something.
What a plonker.
What a plonker. But get well, you know, Team Keems. Hashtag Team Keems. That'll be on the board.
Yeah.
On the screen when that's said. Get well soon, Carl.
Yeah.
So I think that wraps it up for this week. So sorry that it's been very disjointed, that we haven't done it for a while.
Yeah.
No, we've been too busy living lives.
And it's been very long as well, this one.
It has been very long. I dread to think how long this is going to be.
Have a look.
Ben's having a look as we speak.
Pre-edit, this is at 45 minutes, roughly.
Flipping it. There's a fair bit we need to cut out. So thank you very much for listening, if you have been listening to this. Again, we apologise. We'll try and be a bit more regular in the future now. Hopefully the games are getting back to a normal pace.
Yeah.
If you have enjoyed the video, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. If you've got any feedback, keep it to yourself. We don't want to know, because it's probably going to be mean and I'm going to cry. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you all in 7 years when we do our next one.